Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. And for those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Amy. I'm shipping out my sales for the week and today is Monday, June 22nd. I last shipped on last Thursday evening and we have been out camping and boating for a few days. So I have quite a few sales to ship out. It was a really good weekend, which is really great because I was vacationing. I really didn't do much. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just shipping out my Poshmark sales right now because we just got back into town and I have my Cherish shop and eBay shop on vacation mode until tomorrow, so I can ship those tomorrow. Okay, so the first sale, like I said, was on Poshmark. It's this really cool vintage copper cuff, and this is a piece by Renoir, and it is signed on the inside. This sold for $53. It has been listed a couple of years, so a long time. I do find that if you're trying to get a higher price for this particular brand in the earrings or the bracelets, it takes a while to sell. I have had really good luck. I found a few of the belts and it's hard copper like this, and those have sold quite well for over $100. So like I said, this sold for $53. I paid about $3 for it, so that left me with a profit of $39.40. For the remainder of the video, when I talk about my profits, you can assume that I am deducting any website fees, my cost of goods, and any shipping discounts. Okay, the next sale was this really cool, I don't know, somewhat vintage torque necklace, and it's like a wire, layered wires. I don't know, I thought this was really cool. I just listed this, I think last week. It isn't genuine silver, it's just silver in color, and it sold for $25. I kind of thought I might get a little bit more for this, but I got that, you know, offer right away, and because I knew that I wouldn't be active this weekend, I just decided to go ahead and accept it because I wanted to keep the momentum going in my Poshmark shop. I paid $3 for this, so that left me with a profit of $17. And Anna, if you are a subscriber, thank you so much for your order. Sometimes you guys mention it, sometimes you don't, but I was kind of thinking that I had shown that in a video, so I thought maybe she saw it there. Okay, so the next sale is this Brighton watch. I thought this was really cute. I got this at the estate sale where I spent $890. It sold for $18. It needs a new battery, so it's been listed a while. I only paid $3 for this, so that left me with a profit of $11.40. I think this is also a subscriber, so thank you so much, Lisa, for shopping with me. I always really appreciate your guys' support. And for all of these jewelry pieces, I will probably be adding additional packaging, and then I ship them in the bubble mailer that I get for free from Poshmark. Did I say my profit was $11.40 on that? Okay, the next sale I do know was a subscriber, so thank you so much, Elizabeth, for also shopping with me. You guys were just really good to me over the weekend, and I'm so appreciative. She got these really cute turquoise kind of nugget earrings. They're shaped like cross, very cowgirl, coastal cowgirl in my opinion. They sold for $10. They did have some kind of wear on the back and stuff, so that's why I priced them a little bit lower. They aren't real sterling silver, but I do think they are genuine turquoise little chunks, and maybe tiger's eye too, I'm not sure. I bought these quite some time ago. I got them at a fill the bag sale, so I paid less than $1 for them. So that left me with a profit of $6.05. Very happy with that. So thank you again. And I hope you love these. The next sale also went to a subscriber. So thank you so much, Katie, KD. I don't know what your actual name is, but I really appreciate your support. And she got a 5-item bundle. The bundle sold for $140. The first item is this really fun vest, and it's an open front kind of draped vest. It is wool. Has really great details. That's why I picked it up. It's a little bit different on each side. And the brand is Art of Cloth. I also think this is a pretty good brand. You know, anytime you can find something that is wool and, you know, unique and nicely made, that's something that I'm going to want to pick up. So I paid about $15 for everything in the bundle. So that left me with a profit of $97. This I picked up at an estate sale. Oops, I don't know what just fell down, but this I picked up at an estate sale for $1, which, you know, another reason why I grabbed this. And I got a lot of interesting pieces at this particular estate sale, and they have all, I think all but one have sold quickly and for good prices, in my opinion. So turned out to be a really good pickup. I do think that, you know, me doing more of the thrifting videos and thrift hauls is really, you know, helping my YouTube channel and getting a lot of new subscribers. And it does seem like I'm getting more subscriber purchases lately too. So I've mentioned this before, you know, if you feel like your reselling business is, you know, lagging, or if it's getting harder to compete with so many people, I would really recommend giving some sort of social media a try. I know that YouTube isn't for everyone, but you could do, a lot of people are even doing little Facebook pages with just their name or an Instagram account, and just do whatever you feel comfortable with. You don't even have to talk on there. You don't have to show your face. You could just share the items that you're selling. And I really think that, you know, marketing yourself and your business is really what is going to keep us going with all of the changes in reselling. Okay, so that was the first item in her bundle. And then she got 4 brooches. She got this really pretty brooch. I love the blue and green Aurora Borealis crystals. This one was signed K-A-R-U, and I had never come across this particular brand of brooch before, but I found 3 of them at an estate sale one time, and I just thought they were unique and pretty looking, so I grabbed them. I did pay $5 a piece for this brooch. Then this is the next brooch that she got, and this is signed BSK. I also picked this up at an estate sale for about $3. I love buying and selling brooches, and oftentimes it seems like people will bundle and buy multiple brooches. So if you can get brooches for, I don't like to pay over $3 typically, unless it's a signed piece, or, you know, I know that it's really valuable, because they do typically take a long time to sell. So all 3 of these, the last one wasn't listed that long, but the other 3 have been listed a while. This one I just thought was really cute. It is just a dainty little pin here. This actually got a lot of attention and a lot of likes. I either paid $1 or $3 for this at an estate sale. It is unsigned. And then this last piece is also unsigned, but it's really, really nice quality. So I do think that it could be an unsigned designer piece. I did try and do research, but I couldn't find anything. And I paid $3 for this at an estate sale. So like I said, about a total of $15 all in. So that left me with a profit of $97 on those 5 items. Really happy about that. The next sale is this Brighton belt. It is a men's belt, and I'm pretty sure I just listed this. Like, maybe it's only been listed a couple of weeks, and it sold for $26. I did have it listed under men's because, yeah, it was marked a size 36, and it just looked kind of more like it was originally men's. I paid $3 or $4 for this. So that left me with a profit of about $16.80. Really happy to have a belt sale. I always love buying and selling belts. I do think it's interesting. I think last week I had a whole bunch of shoe sales and not as many jewelry sales. And then right now I have all these jewelry sales and no shoe sales. For my belts, I also use the padded little envelope that I get from Poshmark for free. I haven't had any problems putting belts in these. I do like to, you know, wrap them in some paper or something first. Okay, the next item, I sold another piece from the sale where I spent $1,233, and it is this beautiful Johnny Was blouse. It is mixed media, so there you can see it pretty well. So it has kind of a different fabric on the sleeves, to the front, to the back, and the back's really detailed. Isn't that gorgeous? Even the tags on Johnny Was pieces are art. I mean, that's embroidered, beautiful. This had a retail of $335. It ended up selling for $75. I think this has been listed. I think I'm to about 50 days since that sale. So this was a little bit more than 30% off my asking price, I think. But because it had been listed that long so far, which isn't terribly long, I just decided to go ahead and accept that. My average cost of goods for that sale was $17. So that left me with a profit of $43. I'm happy with that. I'm in the money from that sale. I've doubled my money already, which is so exciting. And, you know, just want to keep things moving and move through that inventory. My, oh my, do I wish that I could come across more sales like that. That was just almost a once in a lifetime thing. Then for my clothing, I typically use just the poly mailer that I also get for free from Poshmark. I think the stuff that they send us is pretty great, especially for free. Okay, and then the next item was this White & Warren cashmere sweater. This was not a great buy. I grabbed it because it was cashmere. I looked up this brand. I am going to have to do another lint roll on this. And this is a really expensive brand retail. But, and I think I paid $10 for this, but then I got it home and I noticed that it had a little hole in it. And so I went to repair that, and I was repairing that. I noticed that there was another one, and it seemed like it just kept going, and then it needed a sweater shaving, and I was like, oh, I should have just, you know, redonated it or whatever. But because I paid $10 for it, I couldn't let it go, which is just silly. But it ended up selling for $39. It sat in my money pile for longer than I'd like to admit. But I think it's only maybe been listed now about 6 months. That's not great, but whatever. I ended up with a profit of $21.20. So really happy with that. And then this last sale is the really exciting sale for the weekend. It is this vintage Gucci bag, and this is lizard, and it has that beautiful clasp there with tiger's eye. I think that this is probably from the 1970s. As you can see, it's like a longer shoulder bag. A petite person might be able to wear it crossbody. This was just really interesting. Had a like a little plaque for the Gucci logo there. This was listed a long time. I've had it a long time, and then I finally got it listed, and it's been listed a good couple of years, I think, but it sold for $480. The kicker is I got this at the Goodwill, and I actually got this at the Goodwill in Bellevue, Washington, and they had it priced at $5.95. But because there's no obvious branding, I don't know, they missed it somehow, but I was super excited to find it. It also sat in my money pile for a while, and I just didn't get it authenticated. but that left me with a profit of $378. So very excited to have sold that. It's a beautiful, really unique piece, and I hope the buyer loves it. Okay, so that is it for today, but don't go anywhere. This video will continue with what else I sell. I'll be back, every day, but I'll also come back tomorrow and ship my Cherish sales. I got a couple really good Cherish sales and an eBay sale. So if you enjoy my videos and you'd like to see more from me, I'd love it if you would subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a green heart emoji in the comments down below. Okay, I'll be right back. Hey again, it's Tuesday and I'm back to ship out the rest of my sales from over the weekend, plus I had another sale on eBay. So the first sale I had is this little interesting little compass sundial watch, I think it was called. I'm sorry, I forgot to write it down. I'll put it on the screen here. I just picked it up because I thought it was really interesting looking, and it got a lot of attention, and then it finally sold on eBay for $31.50. As you could see, it's kind of, distressed looking and a little worn. In fact, I don't know exactly how old it is, but there was a name associated with it. I think it was Frank something. Like I said, I'll put it on the screen here. But I picked this up in a bag of other stuff for less than $1. It sold for $31.50. So that left me with a profit of $24. Didn't take a terribly long time to sell, maybe a few months. Then my other sale on eBay was this pair of Donald Pliner sandals, and they have this cool like toe ring, and then they're champagne gold. I picked these up at the Goodwill because I thought they were unique and pretty, and they were in excellent, pretty much like new condition. I did pay up for these. I paid $20, but I know that, Donald Pliner has a really high retail, and these ended up selling for $50. They didn't take a super long time to sell either. I think it's only been a month or two since I listed them. Like I said, I paid $20, so that left me with a profit of about $21 after fees. I'm happy with that, especially since they sold relatively quickly. I was actually considering possibly returning these, or at my Goodwill, you can return for store credit within 14 days of buying them. You can't get your actual money back. But then I looked at comps, and there was some decent comps, and they just were in such excellent condition that I just, decided to keep them. And I think actually they've been listed on eBay for less than I've had them. I listed them on Poshmark to begin with. Okay, then I had two sales on Cherish, pretty exciting sales. The first sale is this quite large vintage pottery vase. I just really liked the glaze on this, had a real like 60s, 70s vibe to it. It was signed on the bottom, but I couldn't make out the signature. I am not knowledgeable about pottery at all. I strictly pick up pottery when it is attractive to me. So if it is nice looking and I think like an interior designer or someone might be interested in getting it as, part of their design, then that's when I'll grab it. This ended up selling for $104. It took a long time to sell, over a year. And I paid $15 for this at an estate sale, so that left me with a profit of $66. I am going to package this up off camera. If you want to see how I package breakables, I always have a link to my video about how I package breakables. I will wrap this in paper, then I will wrap it in multiple layers of small bubble wrap, and then layers of large bubble wrap. Then I'll put it in an appropriate size box and make sure that there is at least 2 inches of stuffing all around it. That's how I ensure that my items don't get broken. I want to imagine throwing it off the back of a truck and it not breaking. That's how securely I package my items, because a lot of the carriers are hard on the items, particularly the post office. Cherish uses UPS for shipping, and I think I've had one issue in all of the sales that I've had on there where something got broken. Again, like I said, I am very cautious about it. Okay, I said my profit was $66 on it. Okay, and then there was another sale. I will grab that and be right back. It was a set of 10 of these Linux glasses. And actually I got 2 large sets of these at the Goodwill in one day. One set has already sold. They were slightly larger than this, but you can see they have this beautiful detail on the bottom, and these are definitely real crystal, as you can hear that singing noise when you tap on them. These were a great sale. They sold for $253 for the set of 10. So that means I got $25 per glass, which is really exciting. And I only paid $1.99 per glass at the Goodwill. So a total of $20, which left me with a profit of $173.50. Very excited with this sale. I think these took somewhere around a year, a little bit less to sell maybe. So for these, I will wrap each one individually in paper, and then again in at least 2 layers of bubble wrap. Then I nestle them, you know, like this in a box. And again, make sure there is plenty of packaging around the outside. And another tip is you do not want your items to shift or move within the box at all. So you want to make sure that it is hard to close that box and there is just no movement. So before you tape it shut, just hold the top shut and kind of shake it a little bit and see if you hear any movement. If you hear movement, you want to add more packaging all around to make sure that it doesn't shift. I find that, you know, if an item is able to move around inside the box, that's more likely how it's going to get broken than anything. Okay, so that is it for today. I had that one more eBay sale, but no more sales on Poshmark since Sunday, I think. So I need to get busy and get some listings up there. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back with what else I sell this week. I forgot to mention about the Gucci bag that I sold yesterday. I always have my vintage and pre-owned designer bags authenticated by Authentic Detective, and I've had really good luck with that. With them, I like that they provide a certificate. Most brands are only about $12. So different categories can be more expensive, and Chanel is more expensive. But for like Gucci and Louis Vuitton, it's $12, which I think is really, really affordable. And it comes with the certificate. You can print it out in color or black and white, and it shows a photo of the front and the back of the item, and then like some identifying feature for authenticity. So if there is a serial number, it would show that too in these pictures. And then it also has a QR code at the bottom here that your buyer could scan, and it will pull up to make sure that the certificate is authentic. Because with all of, you know, the things that people can do with AI, they could create or alter a certificate, but I like that these have the QR code so that you can verify the certificate as well, that it goes with the bag that it says it goes with. I don't have a discount code for them or anything. I have thought about reaching out to them to possibly work with them because I use their service a lot and I really like them. Maybe I could get a discount code for you for them. I will try that, and if I do before this video goes up, of course I'll put it here on the screen and link it in the description box below. Okay, just wanted to give an update on that because I have had a few questions lately about who I use to authenticate my designer items. Hey again, it's Thursday and I've got 3 more sales to ship out. So the first sale is a bundle of 2 items and it sold to one of you guys. So thank you so much, Gina, for supporting me, my channel, my small business. I appreciate you guys so very, very much. The first item in the bundle she got was this really gorgeous vintage belt, and it's genuine leather with like a mock alligator print. It has little cap on the end. This is Vicenza, Vicenza Sport was the brand. And I just listed this yesterday. I think maybe she saw it in one of my videos. I'm not sure. She got this and another item for $54. I picked the belt up at a thrift store and I paid $3 for it. The other item is a necklace that I will show you here in a minute, and I also paid about $3 for that. I think I may have gotten it at the estate sale where I spent $890, but I'm not sure. Some of the items are starting to run together at this point. But I really liked this belt. At first, when I grabbed it, I thought that it might be Brighton. Okay, so the other item that she got is this really dainty little sterling silver snowflake necklace. And I just thought this was really pretty, really shiny and sparkly. Like I said, it is real sterling silver. So with my cost of goods being $6, that left me with a profit of $37.20. The snowflake necklace has definitely been listed a little while. I don't know exactly how long. If it is from the estate sale where I spent $890, then it has been listed over a year. But like I said, I can't remember for sure. I am going to add some extra packaging material to this before I add it to the bubble mailer. And the video just came out where I asked you guys if you would like me to put the items actually in the boxes and poly mailers and show that to you. And a lot of you did say yes. So I'm going to try and do that when I can and when I have time and when I have stuff to say, because I feel like that'll take extra time and I'll have to keep talking. And sometimes I feel like I repeat myself over and over again. So, okay, the next sale was this really pretty topaz ring. It is sterling silver, and this I did get at the estate sale where I spent $890, and I did expect to get a little bit more for it. I thought it was really beautiful, but it ended up selling for $40. It's been listed for sure over a year, so when I got that $40 offer, I just decided to accept it. I paid $3 for this, so that left me with a profit of $29. Okay, and then the last sale is this pair of Asics running shoes. And I can't remember where I got these, but they don't have a Goodwill price on the bottom. I think that I got them at a fill the bag sale. They were in excellent condition. They only sold for $23. I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm just not picking up athletic shoes anymore unless there's something really special, or you know, if I can get them for like $1 or something at a fill the bag sale, I might pick them up, but they just sit around for me, and then you know, they end up selling for $20 or $30, and I'm just not really interested in waiting around for a $20 or $30 sale. Let me know, do you guys do well with athletic shoes? Any tips for the rest of us on, you know, what we should and shouldn't pick up? So I put my cost of goods as $5 on these because I think I picked them up at that Rodeo Faircourt Princess fill the bag type sale, and one of my recent average cost of goods was about $5. So that left me with a profit of $13.40. So that's just fine. Just happy to, you know, sell these and not have them sitting on my shelf anymore, because I did just go to the Goodwill yesterday and I got 4 or 5 pairs of shoes, and I think they were all Dansko. Well, and this is the other reason that I may not do boxes on camera, because of that loud tape noise. Let me know again what you guys think. I'll just do my best and do it as often as possible. I watch Mick Thriftsy too when she does her ship with me videos, and she always seems to put everything in the box on camera, and I do like seeing that, so I thought you guys might too. Okay, that is it for today, but don't go anywhere. This video will continue with what else I sell this week, and hopefully I have some more sales. It's been kind of quiet. I did send out 30% off offers on every item in my closet yesterday. I got both of the ring and the shoes sold because of that, but they were counter offers. And then I got a couple more really low counter offers, like less than half, which I did not accept. For the items, I just couldn't do it. So hopefully I have some more sales. I'll be right back. Hey again, it's Friday and I've got quite a few more things to ship out. I'm excited to share them with you. For some reason, I was kind of feeling like this week wasn't a very good week, but then I just added up all my totals and it was an excellent week. So I don't know, must have just been in my head. Anyways, the first sale is to one of you guys. So thank you so much, Beth Ann, for supporting me in my channel. She's like an OG subscriber. I think she's been around since the very, very beginning. And I just really appreciate you guys so much watching my channel, purchasing from me, making kind comments. Sometimes I don't feel deserving of this working out for me. And actually, I want to talk a little bit about that after I share my sales. But I'm so thankful for this community and for you guys. So thank you so much, Beth Ann. Okay, she got a 6-item bundle for $251. The first item in the bundle is this really cool pair of earrings, and they have abalone and I think amethyst, light colored amethyst stones. I just thought these were so cool, big statement pieces. I got these at an estate sale where all the jewelry was $3 a piece. And this lady she had so much statement jewelry, and a lot of you guys, when I shared that haul, really seemed to enjoy seeing all this, woman's collection of jewelry. And I always think it's so interesting to see the pieces that people collect. And I guess it can be said with clothing too, but for some reason I find jewelry a little more interesting. So the next piece I think was from that same sale actually, and it's this really pretty beaded necklace, and these are Peruvian opals. Isn't that just pretty and feminine? I love that pink color. So I also paid $3 for this. That was quite the haul I got that day. I think I got like 70 pieces of jewelry. I can't remember exactly how many, but so many cool pieces too. And I like that both of these looked like artisan pieces. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Beth Ann, also really loves labradorite. I think she's ordered a couple of pieces of that stone from me. And I've said it before, but it's one of my favorites as well. Okay, so the next item in her bundle was this really great green woven leather belt. I loved this color, and you just don't come across belts, especially woven belts, in this color. So that's one of the reasons I picked it up. I kind of wish it would have fit me, but it was a little snug. I can't remember exactly where I got this, but I paid about $4 on average for my belts. She actually got 3 belts, and I had 2 other belt sales. So really happy to move out some belts. I did just list 6 or 10 new belts. I always feel like when I, list new belts, I sell more belts. I think Beth Ann had these in her, wish list for a little while, possibly. But the other 2, I think, were just random purchases, so I'm not really sure. Oh, I did just get some new stickers that I forgot to get out. I'm going to grab those, actually. Well, dang, I guess I left them at home, but I'll share them with you next week. And I'm going to try and be better about sharing links to things, because I do have quite a few people ask me about different supplies and whatnot I use, and I just hadn't taken the time to do it. But these are really cute stickers, and I think that my customers will like them too. So I think you guys would have fun seeing them. Okay, the next belt is this really cute Brighton belt. Again, I loved that this was the tan color and the buckle detail on this. I paid $3 or $4 for this. I'm going to wrap these 2 belts together. and then another belt. And this looks like Brighton. Looks like it has that correct font and whatever, but there was no sticker on it or anything. I just thought both of these were really cute too. I know I talk about it all the time, but it's so fun for me to sell belts. And I haven't gotten as many comments on it as I used to. I used to get belt comments all the time, but I used to sell even more belts. I think it seemed like 3 or 4 belts a week I used to sell. But I think maybe more people are selling belts now. I don't know. Anyways, I paid $3 or $4 a piece for those. There's one more item in her bundle, but my total cost of goods for this bundle was about $19. So that left me with a profit of $181.80. Dang it, I kind of wish I had those new stickers so I could put them on your package, Beth Ann. But I'll show them to you guys. Okay, and then the last item in the bundle is this cute gray denim jacket. And this is from Spiegel. I'm probably kind of dating myself, but do you guys remember the Spiegel catalog? So when I was young, it was the Sears catalog. And for Christmas, I would go in and dog ear all of the things that I wanted, you know, strawberry shortcake nightgown and whatever else I wanted in there. And I remember it just being such a fun time of year. I didn't really make like a written Christmas wish list. I just would circle stuff in that catalog when I was young. And then when I got a little older, I remember the Spiegel catalog coming, and I would just look at it and like want so many items in there. And I just remember thinking that it was such a like chic, classy catalog. I don't know. Did you guys have a similar feeling and a little bit like unattainable at that time? I do wish they would still have I don't know, is Spiegel even in business anymore? And catalogs, for the most part, are kind of a defunct thing, which they are wasteful, but it is fun. There's something just nostalgic about flipping through a catalog. So I am going to use a large box number 1 for this. You guys did mention that you like seeing me put stuff in the box for shipment. So I'm going to try and do that more often now. I am going to add a little bit more packaging to that so it doesn't rattle around. But I just love all of the items that Beth Ann picked. Real quick, I'm excited about this, and this video will probably have already come out before this shipping video, but I was just at the Goodwill a couple of days ago and I picked up these dance coats, and look at how this toe had this discoloration or whatever on it, and I almost didn't pick them up, but they were only $6.99, and this is a desirable style. So I thought I would give it a try, and look at that. I need to do a little bit more work here, but it almost all came off. I don't know what it is. I just used this Greutz interior cleaner, something that my dad had and gave me. He's really into cars, but you can use it on leather and fabric. It's really gentle. But I used a toothbrush and scrubbed on this, but look at the difference there. I'm really excited. So these are going to be a great flip now that they're cleaned up. So if something, you know, is valuable but has a little bit of flaws, I'm always willing to put a little work in. Okay, the next sale is this black leather belt, just really simple. The brand was Blue Vintage, which I had never heard of before, but I liked the detail here, and because it had that branding on there, I picked it up. Plus, I do well with just basic black leather belts, men's or women's, if they're distressed or if they're not. This sold for $25, and it really didn't take very long to sell, maybe a month or two. I paid about $4 for this. So that left me with a profit of $16. So excited to have such a great sales week after last week was so ho-hum. I think I only sold like $600 last week. But, you know, that happens sometimes, and I wasn't really feeling super motivated. I haven't been talking about my goals with you guys the last few weeks, and I'm hoping to get back into that in the next couple of weeks, but I was just feeling a little overwhelmed and just kind of wanted to, you know, take a little breather from sharing with you guys. And I think I have had that, and I'm ready to get back on track. Okay, so another belt sale. It is this tan leather belt, just basic. I picked this up because I liked that the buckle was covered in leather. It just seemed like nice quality, and I liked this color. I felt like this tan beige color would be kind of a little bit harder to come by. That's another thing I look for when I'm buying belts is, you know, specific colors that I think will be harder to find on the retail market and that someone might be searching for on the resale market. Did I say this sold for $25? This has been listed a long time though, so maybe not that great a pickup. I think I paid about $3 for this, so that left me with a profit of $17. I'm happy with that, really happy to move it along. Forgot to put that other belt in the poly mailer, but I'll get into the habit of it, and if it works out, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Okay, and then the last sale is a really exciting sale. It is this hobo bag. This is the Sheila style. I have always had really good luck with this Sheila style. It sells for higher prices than a lot of the hobo styles. It sold for $120. It does come with a long strap, and then a lot of the hobo bags have pretty interior like this. I got this at the estate sale where I spent $1,233. Just still amazed at how wonderful that the results from that sale have been. So excited that I, you know, took a risk and paid up for all those items. So like I said, this sold for $120. My average cost of goods for that sale was $17, so that left me with a profit of $79. Let's see, I think I'm going to package this up off camera to make sure that it will fit in the large box number 1 before I put the paper around it. So real quick update on that sale. I have sold a total of 35 items, so roughly half of the items, and it's been 7 or 8 weeks. My total sales amount is $3,665, and my total profit after I deduct website fees and the cost of goods is $1,490.80. So excited about that. Okay, and then my total statistics for the week, I had a total of $1,842.50 in sales. That's outstanding. My total cost of goods was $175, and my total profit after I deduct website fees, my cost of goods, and any shipping discounts is $1,287.75. I exceeded my $1,000 per week profit goal. I had a total of 20 sales, making my average sale price $92.13. But I sold a total of 26 items. So my average item, or my average price per item, was $70.87. That is amazing. Oh, one thing, the set of 10 glasses that I sold on Cherish, I still have not gotten a shipping label for those. So I have Cherish facilitate the shipping, so they just send me a label. Apparently the buyer did not complete their phone number, and so they won't give me a shipping label until they're able to reach the buyer to get their phone number. I don't know, that seems kind of weird. But I'm going to check back in. If I haven't gotten the label, it's been almost a week since she made the purchase. So if I haven't gotten it by next week, I'm just going to kind of push back and be like, do we actually need the phone number to ship it? We have her address. So anyways, did I tell you my other statistics? I got distracted. My average cost of goods per sale was $8.75, and my average profit per sale was $64.39. All amazing statistics. I'm so happy and proud of what's going on. So I've just been thinking a little bit lately about, or being aware of, my thoughts about my success and myself. And I've noticed that there are a lot of times when good things are happening to me and I don't feel worthy of them, or I'm surprised about my success, or just weird little things like when I'm thinking about the new car that I bought, the Bronco, and I'm driving around in it and I just can't believe that I actually got it. And then now I park it in the driveway under the carport and my husband parks on the street, where before he parked in the carport and I parked on the street, because so he gets up a lot earlier than me. And so for the winter, I always felt like it made more sense for him to park under the carport so he didn't have to scrape his windshield, because by the time I would get up and leave, typically the ice would be melted off my windshield. And I kind of feel a little guilty that he has to park on the street. And why would I feel guilty? I parked on the street for years. And so it's just I've just been kind of thinking about, those thoughts that I have about myself and kind of trying to work through it. And I listened to a couple of books recently. I've mentioned them before, and they were You Are a Badass and You Are a Badass at Making Money. And then also one called Rich as Fuck. I don't know why they all have to have swear words. But the author of that, Rich as Fuck, she was recently on one of the Real Housewives shows, and she got a lot of backlash from the ladies about how she was scamming people out of money and stuff by selling these courses. But I would venture to say that her book has somewhat changed my life. And just I've listened to it many, many times, and it has really helped me feel more confident about being deserving of receiving good things and for my hard work paying off. So I would highly recommend that. At first, it was a little hard to get used to her voice as the narrator, because she kind of has a Valley Girl voice. And so I don't know, that was just, for me, it was at first, but then once I got into it, I really loved it. And there's actually a quote from the book that I wrote down. Most people don't let themselves ask for or receive more money until they believe they have suffered enough or worked hard enough to be worthy of it. And that was just really poignant for me in kind of how, I thought about money or success or love. It doesn't have to be about money. A lot of these books are about money, but I'm applying them to other areas of my life as well. And of course, making more money can make your life easier in a lot of aspects. So, just do kind of, or perceive it the way that works well for you. But I just wanted to share that because I really feel like it has made a difference in my thought process and in my life. And I am deserving of success, financial success, success in love and life. And so are you. We're all so deserving of it. And we all really, we deserve to, receive good things. And I try and be positive and think that way. And one of the things that I did when I went to buy my Bronco, which was really hard for me to spend that amount of money, is I started telling myself, more money is coming. Money is always flowing to me. And that's one of the things that she talks about in this book. And again, it's not just about money, even though we are using that word. It's about feeling secure and confident in your ability to continue to be successful and provide for yourself and achieve your dreams. And I don't know, it just really made a big difference in my life. And so wanted to share that. I will link it below. Right now I'm listening to Atomic Habits. I haven't gotten through that book yet, but pretty sure I'm going to have to listen to that a few times for it to sink in. But there are some really, really great points in that book about, you know, establishing new habits and breaking bad habits. And I have a lot of bad habits, and I have a lot of good habits that I want to reinforce and establish some new habits, particularly in organization and, you know, kind of managing my money pile. Hopefully I haven't gone on too long, but, you know, if you wanted to click off by now, that's totally up to you. But I did have another really great idea. A lot of you have said that you want me to do videos on tackling my money pile, aka death pile. And I think that I have figured out how I can actually do that. I've really been wanting to go to Hawaii again. It's been a couple of years. And so I'm thinking that that can be my goal with tackling my money pile. So everything that I list from my money pile will go into an account, and we can keep a running tab of how much money it is to save up enough to take a trip to Hawaii. And so I can see how long it takes, how much money I had sitting in my money pile. And hopefully that'll be motivating for you guys if you guys want to set some sort of goal based on the size of your money pile and kind of, you know, what you have going on. But I have a lot of back inventory that needs to be listed, but I think that will be motivating and exciting, and it will keep me going. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you so very much for watching. As always, if you enjoy my content and you want to see more from me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. That way you'll be notified when I upload new videos. And any way that you can interact with my videos really helps me out. Give the video a thumbs up, make a comment down below. Maybe let's do some sort of animal in the comments. And if you have the option to hype my video, it's totally free to you, and that really helps me out. Okay, see you guys all again soon. Thanks so much for watching.